Hey everyone, welcome back to the next part of the Blazer project. Today's mostly just going to be some talking, just kind of going over how the end of the winter and stuff went. So first thing I'm going to do is go back in time a couple of months to when it was not shorts and t-shirt weather and discussing a few things I was dealing with when it was still winter. I'm not really going to do much today. I just wanted to kind of touch base after the heat shield debacle. It's been a few weeks, and since then, this thing's been awesome. There's been no weird noises or anything. It's just been great, and I'm so glad I got that figured out. A couple things I've done off camera. We had a nice day last weekend, and I replaced my front door speakers finally, and that made a huge difference. One of them wasn't even connected, so I had no front speaker on the left, and the one on the right was hooked up, but being 10 ohms instead of 4 ohms, it was quiet and blown and sounded terrible. So I got those in there, and it sounds so much better now. I've also had a problem lately with the battery where every once in a while when I'd go to start it, it would just click and all the lights would go off, normally the sign of a poor battery connection. And I would get out and wiggle the terminals and it would work. And I tried a couple times to just reach under there and tighten it, and it felt tight, so I didn't know what the problem was. Well, I finally decided to dig into it and found that the battery terminal bolt was too long, so it was bottoming out in the battery before there was a good connection being made to the terminal. So I just threw on a lock washer on top of it and it made it tight, and now it's perfect again. So that's the joy of buying a car with unknown history, unknown background. You don't know if it was abused. Well, okay, in this case I do know it was abused, but like, you don't know anything about it. You don't know who was working on it and what their skill level was, so it takes a while to find all the little things. Oh, and I did have one exciting thing happen. I finally found somebody selling the set of the wheels that are supposed to be on this model. I'm still gonna have to put tires on them, but these are still in good shape. They're just the wrong size, and I just don't like how the rims look. So maybe this year I'll get new tires on, maybe I'll wait another year. Tires are not cheap. It's like, do I want to spend close to $1,000 on tires, or do I want to spend it on the 53 Chevy? So we'll see what happens there. But let me roll one of those over here and show you what it looks like in comparison to these. So these are the wheels that I got, and the tires that came with it were 235/75 R15, which is the correct size or close to the non-ZR2s. And these are the wheels that, according to the brochure, are only supposed to come on 4 doors, not on 2 doors. But I've seen so many Blazers with the wrong wheels on them that I'm starting to wonder if that wasn't really a rule and it was more just a suggestion. Either that, or just it's been a lot of years and people have just swapped rims around for whatever reason. But I really wanted to get the rims that are supposed to go with the 2-door on here with the correct tire size, which is 31. So let me roll in a 31 and show you what it looks like in comparison to the 235/75. Yeah, as you can see, that makes a big difference. So you've got a little bit of perspective kind of messing with your angle here, but clearly these are way more aggressive and they're gonna fill the wheel wells a lot better. And hopefully my speedometer won't be so far off. I'm gonna get these tires taken off. I've got 2 decent Michelins and then 2 of a different brand that are almost completely bald. So I suppose I'll save these 2 and then I'll have them for a spare. I'll clean up these rims. Some of them, it looks like somebody cleaned them with a DA. They've got chipped paint, so I'll probably just kind of freshen them up. New tires, balance, put them on. Unfortunately, I only got 4 of those. I didn't get one for the rear. That's just a steal for the spare, but whatever. Better than looking at these. At least I'll have the ones for the 2-door. So a couple of things I wanted to talk about back here. First off, you can see the new spare tire that I got. It's a lot less rusty. But the other thing I wanted to talk about is something that's always bugged me about these, which is how much inset the rear wheels are from the fender in the rear. They're all like that. I don't know why, but once I get those tires mounted up and ready to go, I'm gonna add spacers to bring these out, maybe 1.5 inches or something. And that'll just kind of bring them more in line with the front. Here, going handheld, you can see this gap in the back. Then up front, it looks fine. So I don't know why they're like that. Since they used a different rear end for the ZR2s, they could have just spec'd it 1 inch or 2 wider, but whatever. I will take care of that. And another stance related thing, every one of these I see looks like it's sagging in the back, and mine is no exception. And the front is lifted just off the bump stops. So I don't know if they all sat crooked new or if all of them have just sagged, but I will be addressing that. I'm going to try to lift the rear a couple inches just to match the front. One final thing I wanted to touch on real quick were the rattles. And as you remember, I stuck some carpet to the back of the plastic panels. I think it's all fallen off, and this thing rattles so bad and it is so loud. I will be pulling the interior back out, obviously not the dashboard, pulling out just enough that I can put sound deadener on the floor, on the sides, and put some pads on the back of the plastic panels, and I think that'll help a lot because this thing's so loud that I can barely hear the radio without turning it all the way up when I'm on the highway. And most of my commute to work is on the highway, even though it's only a few miles of it. In case you were wondering if sticking carpet to the back of your panels with double stick tape was a good way to reduce rattles, it is not. So don't do that. I was gonna start driving the Abarth this weekend, but we just got a bunch of snow and we're supposed to get even more snow, even though it's the middle of March. So that's Iowa. All right, now that that's out of the way, you might be wondering, why am I standing in front of half-finished drywall instead of the Blazer? Well, the Blazer is outside. Where I am standing is the reason I haven't been putting up Blazer videos for a while, because this construction project has been the top priority. For those who haven't been following me forever, if you're just kind of new to this Blazer project, brief overview of my life story. Parents moved out to this house where you see me work on the Blazer. My dad started building this big, awesome workshop, and as soon as he started building it, as soon as he moved out here, he just retired, he found out he had cancer. He fought it for about 10 years. In that time, the shop got almost finished, and he ended up losing his battle with cancer about 5 years ago. So now just my mom lives here, and she has Alzheimer's. So sooner or later, whether it's going to be in a caretaker role or an estate role or something, my wife and I are going to be moving out here. This is going to be our house. This is going to be my shop. So the shop where you see me at the other location, where I've got the white cabinets behind me, that is our house we live at now. We're going to be moving out of there. So I'm trying to get this workshop out here prepared so that when we do have to move, the workshop is done and I don't have to think about it, and we can just worry about beds and furnitures and kitchen things. So we don't know what the timeline is. It might be this year, it might be in 2 years. It just kind of depends, you know, how quickly mom's illness progresses, or she moves out or passes or whatever. We don't know. Life's messy like that. So where I'm standing is a completely new shop for you. So I'm just gonna go handheld. I'm gonna walk around the shop and show you that real quick, and then I guess we'll get back to talking Blazer after a couple of minutes. So if this is boring to you and you don't care, feel free to skip ahead a few minutes. So just to refresh your memory, this is what the shop has looked like for the last, I don't know, 5-10 years up until a few weeks ago. And here's what it looks like now. We've never had stairs to get up to the top loft. It's always just been this step ladder here. So I built some stairs and I enclosed all this. And this used to be open over here, and that's now walled off. Just the entire area under this loft is now enclosed, which is about 28 by 12 feet, 300 some square feet. In this room, which the 53 Chevy used to be right across here, sticking out to about here somewhere. But this is gonna be the area that is right now my garage at home. This is gonna be the lathe, table saw, bandsaw, drill press, all that. This will probably be the view that replaces me standing in front of my garage cabinets. Once this wall is finished, I'm gonna do something more exciting with it than just painting it white. I'm probably gonna have my workbench right over there, and then my table saw, so my workbench can grab as an outfeed table, and tools along this wall. And then I got this weird little bump out here, which I just love weird angles in rooms, kind of a sucker for them. So I left this. I didn't let it taper all the way down because then I'd just be losing a bunch of wall space. And like, what are you gonna do with a 1 foot ceiling down here? But I left this because this window, if you line up with the wall, you can see if I built the wall straight through, it's gonna run into the window. So I had to build a little bump out. That seemed like a good place to have the landing for the stairs. And I think this area, I'm gonna build a workbench that just fills that, and that will be for my really delicate work, like electronics repair, like watch repair, any like little things that I kind of want clean and out of the way. Right now my shop has no windows, and here I've got nothing but trees and a wooded area in the back, so I can sit here and watch all the animals and watch the squirrels.
I used to be over by the window and I could see the squirrels, and they were married.
So that's basically it. That's why you haven't seen any Blazer content for a month or two. I've been building walls. I still have to sheetrock the ceiling. I'm gonna have to rent a lift to put it up. I'm gonna have LED can lights, these yellow wires hanging down. This is speaker wire. I'm gonna have 4 speakers in the ceiling going to a radio in the wall. over here. I had to move the light switch. It used to be over there. I have a 4-foot door opening because I can. I mean, I can make a door any size I want. I decided just over 4 feet would be good because I could carry in a sheet of plywood horizontally on a cart if I needed to. And then out here, I can make some sort of sliding barn door type thing here. I'm thinking that might be one of my first projects, is to make a barn door out of some walnut that I have that was from this yard. So it'd be kind of nice to use it for this shop. And I know people are gonna ask if I'm gonna put a railing up. I will put a railing up, not because I'm worried about falling, but because I'm just gonna get tired of people asking if I'm gonna put a railing up. And I've got some useless storage down here for, I don't know, something. I don't know if you're wondering, this loft bed I just built for one of my stepkids. They're picking it up today, so it's just sort of in the middle of everything. That's the mess I've been dealing with. Next time you see it, it'll be a lot cleaner. All right, one more new thing that I haven't had a chance to try out yet is I now have a wireless mic system. I don't know if you can see it under here. Kind of looks like I have one weird boob, but we'll see if it sounds any better. So to wrap up this Blazer stuff, I don't have much else to really talk about. I have been using it this summer off and on for Blazer things. Here's a picture of the lumber I bought to make the stairs and some of the framing. And then here's where I picked up some of the drywall. So yeah, it's been really good, really helpful. It's given me no problems. The thing's just been awesome. I did buy some valve cover gaskets and a cap and rotor and some plugs. I just kind of want to do some basic stuff and some tune-up stuff just to try to get it to stop leaking so much oil and, you know, do every little thing I can to make it run as well as possible. I do still have that engine light comes on every once in a while and then just turns off after a few days, and then it's off for a little while, and then next time it comes on again. And I don't know what's causing it. I think it's still saying something with the evap system, so I might just have a bad hose somewhere. So yeah, that's about it. I haven't done anything else to it so far this year. I guess all I've really done is I put a trailer hitch on the bumper and wired it up so I can tow a trailer. I guess we're gonna cut this one off, otherwise I would have that little clip from last winter just sitting in the computer for the next 6 months. At least we'll get something out to you. So anyway, sorry if this one wasn't super exciting. You kind of got an overview. There will be more coming this year. I want to get those new rims on, and I want to get a few of the oil leaks and things fixed. So there will be more. Oh God, and I have that stupid transfer case still sitting over there. Too many projects, not enough time. Thanks for watching this one, and I promise the next one will be more fun. Catch you later.